Hello, this is AvidMotorsport, and I would just like to put in a short notice before this video starts, and that is, this is the first time we've used a recorder called OBS, and we were using the inbuilt Skype system to record our audio, and the audio sound is not very high, and I will make sure this does not happen for the next video. So if you'd like to turn your audio up just a slight bit, so you can hear me, Will, and Charlie discuss the Malaysian Grand Prix, that would be most thankful. And let's go straight into the video. Hello, this is Avid Motorsport, and welcome to our Malaysia Grand Prix podcast slash review. Today I am joined by Will and Charlie. Sadly, Ethan is currently unavailable to join us for this podcast slash race review because of the time difference in the United States. So let's get into the video straight away with the results. And it was a crazy race, to say the least. And to surprise, Max Verstappen won the Malaysian Grand Prix, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know. And then comes Lewis Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel after an unbelievable drive, Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez, Stoffel Van Dorn, Lance Stroll, Felipe Massa, and Esteban Ocon. So, yeah, let's talk about the beginning of the race. If one of you want to lead off, yeah, if you want to.
As we saw our favourite commentators walking down the grid to sort of give us an insight on what to expect for the race, we instantly heard that Kimi Raikkonen would not be able to make it. He did not start. Ferrari weren't too keen to share with us what the issue was in case it gave other teams insight, but it undoubtedly ended their chances of winning the Constructors' title, with that probably going to Mercedes. Other than that, it was a fairly routine start. So Hamilton held it for turn 1 and turn 2. Bottas looked promising coming round the outside, but couldn't really make much of it. Vettel, I think, got up to P13 on the first lap. And apart from that, most people kind of kept their positions. There was a bit of contact between Ocon and Stroll in the second corner, just kind of clipped each other. A bit of end plate from Ocon's car got taken off, but apart from that, it was a fairly routine start.
Yeah, pretty much was. If you want to know though, Valtteri Bottas' start was absolutely unbelievable. He was up in the second at one point, through the midpoint of turn 1, and then dropped to Verstappen. And that was basically the end of the good points for Valtteri Bottas that race, because from then on, he just went backwards. He had no pace at all. Finished 56 seconds behind Max Verstappen and 44 seconds, miraculously, behind Lewis Hamilton.
He's not there, and I was reading a news article from Toto walking through the race, and they have expressed their concerns about his recent form. It's just not been looking good ever since he's got that contract extension. He's not quite been there.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 races, so I think people are kind of quite quick to judge. But let's just see, once we get to Suzuka and Austin, I think those are tracks that he likes. So, yeah, I think for Bottas we'll wait and see, and as for the rest of it, Ferrari really need all the Christmases to come if they wanted to resurrect their constructors' hopes. But I think, yeah, as you said, well, Mercedes absolutely have the bag now. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, so whilst we're talking about Mercedes, I think we should probably talk about the race-defining moment. The moment Max Verstappen passed Lewis Hamilton for the lead. Hamilton was actually suffering with D-rates at the beginning, which is basically where the electrical energy that's supplied to your engine doesn't work towards the end of a straight, just before the braking zone, so you lose a bit of time from that. But Verstappen, fair play on him, he got past very well.
Yeah, it was pretty standard for an overtake, to be fair. It wasn't nothing unbelievable, but it's odd to see a Red Bull that fast. And I mean, Daniel Ricciardo was seriously unlucky getting stuck behind Valtteri Bottas for about 1/3 of the race, because if he got past in the early parts of the race, I dare to say Ricciardo could have possibly took it from Verstappen. Because Ricciardo was seriously fast at the end of the race. He was on par with Vettel.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I think Ricciardo went slightly further into the race than Verstappen, which maybe explains why he was faster towards the end. He would have had fresher tyres, but yeah, I can understand. I maybe wouldn't say he was unlucky not to get past Bottas. I'd say he should have worked harder to get past Bottas maybe, and if he had driven slightly better, then he would have been able to get past Bottas sooner. I wouldn't say it's a case of luck.
Yeah, true. But I think we should move on to, for me, the highlight of the race, which was Sebastian Vettel's comeback and 20th to 4th. Let's just emphasise, Vettel basically had issues for basically all the weekend. Ferrari's reliability, for some reason, just disappeared. Practice he had an issue, qualifying he had an issue, and at the end of the race, Vettel had an issue with the engine and Lance Stroll, but we'll go on to that later. But Vettel timed his overtakes to perfection. I mean, from when he was in 10th place, about 4 people in front all pitted when he was just about overtaking them, meaning he didn't have to use excess time to overtake them, meaning he could just go on with the race, which was maybe not Vettel's own play, but a bit of luck. But still, Ferrari really nailed the strategy today.
So, quite a dirty race from him today.
Yeah. And to be honest, that's about it in terms of the main events. I mean, we had Stoffel Van Dorn, who was in 5th at one point, but obviously everyone in front of him, who is close to the McLaren in speed, we had a Mercedes engine, so he was going to get absolutely dominated on the straight. But Stoffel Van Dorn finished 7th, and that is just an unbelievable position for Van Dorn to finish, and that means he jumps Alonso in the Drivers' Championship, which, fair play to Van Dorn for that, because he had an awful start of the season. Let's just remember that. It was not a good start. And like Stroll, he's just overcome it. He's matured on the grid, and now well, look at him. He's in 7th.
Yeah, and when all the talk of McLaren's always been about Alonso, it's kind of, it'll be a blow to Fernando, but it's so good for Stoffel to do that well in this Grand Prix. And you mentioned engines earlier, about Mercedes engines. I just want to mention that Carlos Sainz went out on his first stint of super soft tyres, and he had an engine failure. His Renault engine once again giving up before he goes to the actual manufacturers of that engine next year, Renault. So not another disappointing result, but a disappointing result for Carlos Sainz there after his 4th place in Singapore.
Yep, and behind him, Lance Stroll. Yeah, Lance Stroll got points again, which I don't know if it's me, but Lance Stroll is now starting to turn into a fairly decent driver in the Formula One paddock. He's really...
What maybe carried them today is the fact that they were out of the top 10 in qualifying. Wait, were they out of the top 10 in qualifying?
Yep.
Yeah, which meant they were able to start on fresh super softs. So they had the pace from the beginning, really. And I'm looking at the tyre strategies now, and apart from Vettel, they were the only other people to start on the fresh tyres on the start from outside the top 10. So I think that did wonders for them. Good tyre wear all weekend.
The Williams is good around Malaysia.
Yeah, the fact that Williams performed around Malaysia, which is such a high downforce circuit, bodes well for them in the future.
Charlie, is there anything you want to discuss about the Grand Prix?
I was going to say something about Van Dorn there. It's really good to see that he's getting the result that he got today, and I hope that we see more of this from him, because Stoffel Van Dorn is really, I think, a tiger in a cage. When he was in GP2 and in the lower formulas, he was one of the most unbelievable drivers you've ever seen. Like, he's very akin to Charles Leclerc, and I think that him and Leclerc will be names to watch for the future. And I think we're really just seeing the beginning of Stoffel Van Dorn. It's a small result today, it's only P7, and he hasn't really had the best car all season. maybe even have less start. But I think we're definitely going to see a lot more of him from the years to come. And hopefully this is the start.
Definitely. And to be honest, I think because we want to make this video quite short, so I think we should talk about the end of the race. And yes, we're talking about the cool down lap. The race is done. Everyone's been given their positions. Everyone's all classified. And then you have Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. And there's many views on this crash. We're going to have many opinions in the comments, hopefully, about who's at fault. But in my eyes, it's 50-50. Vettel's turning in, and Stroll is going out to get rubber, not seeing Vettel, and they've collided.
Yeah.
So,
Hilarious end to the race. And yeah, I probably agree with you on those. It's 50-50. There's not really a whole lot of blame you can put on either driver. But yeah, it was interesting. And then we saw Bernard giving Vettel the taxi, which is quite funny.
So Verline decides, you know what, FIA, I'm probably not going to be in F1 next year, so I'm just going to come along in my little Sauber, pick Vettel up, and just take him back to the pits. What a lad.
Well, I think I'm maybe saying it was a 60-40 blame, maybe more towards Vettel's side. Personally, I think if he was really that interested in going past him, he should have made it more obvious, took a wider line into the corner. He really didn't leave him much room on the inside. And although I know he didn't expect him to come across like that, and it was bad that Lance wasn't looking in his mirrors, he should still have left more space. And I think he should have maybe gone to pass him at a bit more pace. He crawled alongside him, and if you really want to overtake someone that badly after the race, then you should make your intent clear, round the outside a bit faster and get in front of him before those two corners straighten out. But no, I think it was a good end to the race. It kind of built up the excitement a bit. Obviously, we're happy that we had a different winner that wasn't a Mercedes or a Ferrari, so it was good to see that Verstappen took the first place. But I think that ending really kind of made it for a lot of fans today.
Yeah, and I do want to also include another thing. Vettel, you can see the image which you're watching right now. That is the Verline pickup of Sebastian Vettel, the taxi. Vettel actually took his steering wheel out of the Ferrari, which the FIA probably is going to investigate, and put it in Verline's car. The FIA, it's mandatory that the FIA, if you crash your vehicle, that the marshals can get hold of your steering wheel and make sure they can maneuver the car properly. And Vettel took the steering wheel, which leaves a lot of debate of what it was actually on that steering wheel, because there could be modes, there could be things which other teams might not want to see, but there could be anything on that steering wheel. There could be labels saying what to do, which is obviously illegal. I mean, I think the FIA would have picked that up off the cameras, but you never know. It is Ferrari; they could hide them somewhere. So it's quite an odd thing for a driver to do. I don't know if it's just in the heat and how Vettel was angry about the collision, how it happened after the race, and he's potentially lost a gearbox. I don't really know.
If you're talking about penalties from bad behaviour after his crash, I think he could receive penalties for gearbox replacement, most definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'd say just one more note on the other. I think they made the right decision to not get off the car. Because even though Ferrari have buckets of money, those steering wheels can cost them 100,000 euros. So it doesn't matter if he gets a 25,000 euro fine for not putting the steering wheel in the car. It would outweigh the cost of potentially losing the steering wheel to some psychotic fan.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, it was the right decision to make. And I don't think that there'd be anything particularly wrong on the steering wheel. Like, we've had incidents like this in the past, like Force India 2015 in Italy. They had a steering wheel loss and it cost them like 100,000 quid.
Right.
So, I don't think he was wrong in doing it. I think he knew what he was doing.
That's such a crazy amount of money.
You know what Ferrari are like that? I highly doubt they'll get any penalties for it because they have a way with persuading the FIA, let's just say.
Ferrari International Agency.
Assistance, but yeah.
Yeah, this has been Avid Motorsport. There's not that much to talk about for this race. I mean, you have to watch it to fully understand what happened, because this race, you can't talk about it that much. It's more of actually watching and seeing what happens, and potentially actually listening to the commentators about what they're saying, because they know probably quite a lot more than what we do about what's actually happening at the race, because they have loads of like instruments telling them what's happening. So I would fully recommend going to watch it. F1 actually have Sky Sports commentators doing their highlights, so I definitely recommend checking out their YouTube, because their highlights are properly good to watch. Sky Sports commentators, not renowned for being the best, but still, you would have to pay for it if you want to watch it live. So, well worth a watch. Channel 4, yeah, you can watch them. They're alright, I guess. So, yeah. If you would like to say bye. So, this has been Avid Motorsport. More videos to come in the future. We've got a long plan of how we're going to strategize our videos. So, yeah, we do look forward to seeing you in our next video. And this has been the Malaysian Grand Prix podcast from Avid Motorsport. Bye bye.